We are the Nerdy Turtle Network.
Hello and welcome to Icons of the Wider World here on the Nerd Turtle Network. I'll be your GM for the day, Jason, and with me will be Curtis playing the Comet,
Hola.
Mike playing Serpent Boy,
Voice check, hello.
Zach playing Frost Giant,
Howdy, howdy.
and Taylor playing Patience.
Hello.
Let's see, we've had... I know we had one missed session. Did we have two?
Only
I
one.
think it's just the one.
Okay. Doing it every other week, it makes it feel like a long time. So last session we wrapped up in Australia with, let's see, it was Landshark, Muckboot, Everlast, because it was Snapdragon had started the story and Everlast came in at the end.
That's right.
And I left somebody out. Who did I leave out?
Wolf Witch?
Ah, yes, Wolf Witch. So we wrapped that up without really a huge brawl at the end. You really kind of talked the guy behind it all down. Y'all did scrap some with the god of cursing and mischief, but mostly cursing.
Whoa. I just showed him my tongue was stronger than his and then walked away. Oh my.
Yes. I could see that leaving him potentially stunned.
But we did it without a lot of collateral damage.
Though I think Muckboot did keep his boomerang.
Yes,
right.
he threw it at me. It's mine now. It's how it works.
Space law.
If you shoot someone with a bullet and they walk away, that bullet's theirs now.
Hey, can I have that back?
So anyway, we're here with a new batch of heroes today, so. And we are starting off in Boston.
Because we're pretty sure that's where they're from.
As sure as we can be without going back and watching hours of video, yes.
Just wait until someone pronounces an A word. Then we'll know.
So this is essentially the hometown, or at least the current hometown, of Frost Giant and Serpent Boy. And I guess Patience, since they picked her up.
It's my foster hometown.
Now, they met the Comet down in Miami, where they had, the last time we saw these heroes, where they had gone to watch a concert that Serpent Boy's cousin, completely blanking on her name. But she was part of a band, and they were opening for a larger act, so she had gotten them all tickets. Giant monster attacked Miami. So concert interrupted. Heroes had to roll out.
Ebba
It was in.
Pearson, by the way.
Pardon?
Cousin. Ebba Pearson.
Ah, gotcha. Have you got the name of her band right down there?
Icy Daggers of Agony.
That's it. So they roll out to take care of the monster. That's where they meet the Comet. So imagine their surprise when a few months later, the Comet shows up in Boston. Curtis, early in the Comet's career, not that he's had a long career up at this point, but in the very early days, he encountered. Well, there was a military base, Air Force base was attacked by a small squadron of flying men. The Comet intervened. Turns out this group of men were all the same man. and he was trying to kill a Dr. Moore. Well, Moore and his staff. He seemed to be mad at more than just the one scientist.
Going to kill more of the Moors.
Indeed. But let's see.
So, what were these flying? What did the flying men call themselves, or did they have a
He called himself Squadron.
squadron?
Dressed in, had kind of an old aviator style outfit. But can't
Did they
really
wear
say
helmets like the Rocketeer.
he doesn't have the helmet, but the jacket and stuff would be pretty similar. I got a picture of him. I'll show y'all later when y'all run into him. He's got the scarf. Anyway, the fight was kind of inconclusive. You took out some of the duplicates, and you delayed him enough that the MPs were able to evacuate the scientist. So he didn't get any of his targets. But he did not. You didn't manage to apprehend him either. Basically, he's a flying brick essentially. Some super strength, nothing. Trying to think. Frost Giant? How strong are you? Zach, are you there?
I had myself muted. I didn't realize. I'm sorry.
No problem.
Base form 8.
Okay. So yeah, he definitely wasn't doing anything as impressive as Frost Giant. But he was picking up cars and stuff, so clearly some superhuman strength. Excuse me. So you had gotten a military contact, someone you had met during that first encounter, let you know that this guy has been spotted in Boston.
Okay.
A little research let you know there is an Air Force base in the area. It's not in Boston proper, but it is in the general area. Of course, the military, won't tell you where they ship their scientists. But
Do I know at all why they were after this Moore guy?
no. The fellow you met, they kind of maintained some contact with you. The head of the MPs on the base, basically, because you kind of swooped in and saved their bacon. He knows Moore's involved in some top secret research, and really that's about it. A comment one of the scientists made let him know that Squadron was apparently involved in something too. So he's pretty sure Squadron is former military. But he doesn't know the guy's name or, the nature of whatever the doctors were working on were way above his pay grade. But he knows they moved the doctor and his staff somewhere else. And then he's been keeping his ear to the ground and caught wind that, Squadron had been spotted in the Boston area. You just so happen to know some heroes in the Boston area.
I do.
So that is why Comet is in Boston. As far as the rest of you, what is a day in the life of I almost said Frost Boy, a Frost Giant, Serpent Boy, and Patience?
Adventures of Frost Giant when he was a boy.
Well, my typically is school, and then either online gaming or planning a D&D campaign. Also, maybe he's probably got some kind of intellectual extracurricular, chess club or trivia team or whatever. But that would be the typical makings of a Norman Gander day.
Marnute, I'd say wake up, we'll look about 8:30. Try to make sure everything's, Serpent Boy and Patience are all set for the rest of the day. Though Serpent Boy's probably already gotten things in order for them.
And depending on when school started, he may already be at school when you get up. Frog Giant gets up at the crack of 8:30. Looks around to make sure the house is empty. All right, everybody's left like they're supposed to. First chore done, he goes back to bed for a half hour.
Completely fair, and also accurate. Working time is probably split between just doing odd jobs for independent contractors, like actual contractors, like building houses, doing remodeling and that stuff.
That's not a euphemism. Is what you're saying?
Yeah. I am not an assassin. It's always nice to have a 7-foot-tall guy with super strength on your work crew, and works down at a rotating series of nightclubs as a bouncer at night.
So not really he's got kind of what he generally does, but not really a fixed schedule per se.
Nah.
That's fair. Now, Taylor, is Patience in school?
I'm about to make a roll. I just need to get somewhere real quick. I should have already rolled down here and scrolled to it, but my brain only just now recognized that I'm a child and I'm going to have to do this.
You're a child or your character's a child?
My character's a child.
Just
I'm a
say
whole man. Oh wait, telepathy does not let you alter people's minds. Just read and transmit thoughts.
Yeah, I think it's some variation of mind control that lets you... Now, it's viable as a power stunt, so it could be something she's done as a one-off but doesn't know how to use reliably yet.
Then, challenge of willpower. Zach, can you roll a willpower real quick?
Sure.
This is Patience attempting to convince Frost Giant that she doesn't need to go to school because she can just read the teacher's mind from a distance and get the information she needs.
Looks like she failed, though.
Yeah.
No, you need social interaction with one. Sorry.
So, there's a whole lot of math involved in how Patience would. You know what? Frost Giant's a big Frost Giant, man. I'm betting he could take over as a foster parent without a whole lot of problems.
Oh yeah, he'll just cram himself into an ill-fitting suit and just go down and enroll you. No one's gonna argue. No one argued when I brought home a teenager after a fight with a supervillain. So,
Well, you
I'm
did
a
save the
child
city of
after a
Miami.
dinosaur attack.
And you saved the city of Miami, so Spear kind of owes you.
Oh yes, the government agency has assisted. Yay.
They're with the government.
Alright.
They're here to help.
Then yes, Patience goes to school and attempts to make friends with the punks whose souls are oddly cleaner than most other people's. Like, they hate everybody, but they hate them because they're jerks. I like these people.
What is it? How old was Patience?
Not very.
Yeah, I know she was young enough. She had trouble. She couldn't really remember. Didn't really even know who she was, if I
I think they're
recall.
10.
Yeah,
that's the impression I got.
She's like 6 or 7 now. She was kidnapped at a very young age and was in holding for a couple years. And then bounced around a few foster families.
Alright, so the two younger ones are at school. So, Comet. Arriving in Boston, what would you do?
Ooh, that's a good question. Did they have any information about where this what was he called again?
Squadron?
Squadron.
the villain?
The Bibles called him Sergeant. It was an S. Any information on Squadron other than that he's somewhere in Boston?
He was spotted in the let's see, it was Charleston water. I believe it was the Charlestown waterfront, which, if you're looking on the map, is here. One of the older parts of town.
Any military installations near it, by chance?
There's some offices, I believe, in the area, or it might be maybe across. Yeah, the U.S. Army Department is there. Well, not specifically in the waterfront. Let me get zoomed in here. Oh, the Charlestown Navy Yard is the one that's right there in that area. And it is like a little closer to the road, I guess. Now it is now. Oh, excuse me, I misread. Now the Navy Yard is a park now. It did originally house the Navy.
Oh, okay.
This was, I believe, one of, if not the first, naval yard in the country. They built a lot of the original Navy's fleet in and around this area.
But it's not. But it's just a park now. It's not.
Yeah, it's like 30 acres and whatnot. So it's not. It doesn't seem like it should have been a target.
Doesn't sound like.
And he wasn't attacking anything.
Right. Yeah, he was just. Well, I will. I'll message Frost Giant. Probably won't. You know, he's in his 20s, so he wouldn't probably message the kids. But he would message Frost Giant, let him know he's in town, hunting down a supervillain. And aside from the waterfront, where we know this guy was, I'll look up to see if there's any likely military targets or bases in Boston.
Homeland Security's got a department. Like I said, there is a Department of the Army. And then you've got the kind of the biggest thing in the area is the Hanscom Air Force Base that, like I said, is outside of the city proper.
What kind of base was Moore at when he was attacked?
That was also an Air Force base.
Okay, so if he's still working and he's in Boston, the Air Force Base might be a likely location for him.
Quite possibly.
I don't know. I don't know that the military does a lot of. I don't know what you call it, cross-pollinating or whatever with their different departments. I think they keep that separate.
In the real world, I think you're right. In comics,
yeah,
who knows?
Right.
Secret programs seem to be everywhere. When the Canadian Super Soldier program is also crossing over with the American military and some stuff, it's like...
You know, if there's a nefarious villain involved, you know, who knows how he's making connections. But yeah, I will let Frost Giant know what I'm up to and that I'm in town. See if they want to hang out.
When I eventually see the message, I'll text him back a big thumbs up, smiley face, and then I'm gonna text Serpent Boy, let him know. Be on the lookout. There's supervillain on the loose. Comet's here, and then another thumbs up, smiley face, and yeah, that's it.
I would reply. Do I have to go on patrol, and with a kind of a frowny face?
Just be on the lookout. You don't have to. Just be on the lookout for any supervillain crap and keep an eye out for patients.
Okay, he'll just reply back K.
And
we're just assume stay in tonight, but
and
we'll see what happens.
I'll give the Commodore apartment address and number. You just come on by. And then I head out to shop for party supplies.
Serpent Boy, as you're replying to him, you hit send and you hear the teacher in the front of the classroom.
Oh, I'm in class.
I hope no one's using their phones back there.
No, if he's calling him out directly, he'll be sorry. It was from my guardian.
I'm going to assume Serpent Boy isn't the sort to make much trouble in class generally.
No, he hasn't hit a rebellious phase yet.
Okay. Well, remind him he doesn't need to text you in class. Unless it's an emergency.
Does that include supervillains?
Do what now?
Does that include supervillains? He just asked kind of like...
It's fairly well known.
A question that sounds sarcastic, but is totally reasonable in this world.
Well, also, Serpent Boy is visibly,
Yeah, I'm
something,
clearly,
mutant, meta, crossbreed, casual observer wouldn't know, but it's something.
Grandson of Loki, that's not quibble.
And, there was a lot of coverage of the giant monster attack in Miami.
Mm-hmm.
How much of that coverage would have mentioned Serpent Boy specifically?
I think I was underwater for a lot of that. Because I spent most of the fight tingling around that monster's...
but enough that it's probably going around the school anyway.
Yeah, I'm sure I got lots of flack for that. All the bullies probably kept using me to... all the jocks probably kept using me to tie up, their around... they probably kept tying me around their ankles and stuff just for funsies. Kind of like a weird...
This is great. We can take this nerd and use him to tie this nerd to the goalpost.
Except they also know, you are super strong, so they wouldn't push it too far.
Am I super strong? I don't think I am.
I thought you were above regular human.
Since the human is like regular human is like what, a 2, I'm bound to be at least a little. That's a good question. I've already forgotten what my strength is.
Top tier
Check it
human
real
is either
quick.
5 or 6.
4. So yeah, I'm like a fit adult. So yeah, I mean, I won't be like, I won't be like, I wouldn't be going like, you know, like Spider-Man or Flash Thompson on them, but I could probably beat up one of them, but a bunch of them. Plus he's kind of like meek to begin with because he's. Oh wait, I have the wrong. Wait, hang on. Update. I had Snapdragon open. Oh, okay. Well, my strength is a 6, so yeah, I guess I am kind of tough.
That's
but I
above
also
human. That's above.
yeah.
Yeah. That's.
I think it's
above
more a
Captain
matter
America level strong.
Yeah, I think the problem is he's an awkward teen who'd rather be gaming. That's 2 qualities that would kind of hamper his ability or inclination to, like, you know, fight back and give better than I get if it came down to it. So,
Well, it's also just a thing of like a bully, you know, ties you around somebody's leg, or you know, as hazing, and you walk and just don't realize you're pulling a human body because of how strong you are. They'd start to be like,
right, I would,
this is concerning.
yeah, it's like not tripping me up. It's not great for the nerd tied up to me, but yeah.
Well, we took his backpack and we threw it under that car, and then he just tipped that car up on 2 wheels and got his backpack. Maybe we'll leave him alone.
I bet that's exactly how it plays out, actually.
That's about what strength level you're at that level.
It's a thing where, like, face to face, you'd still be very meek, but they'd also know.
Yeah, not
They'd know this man can kill me with a thought.
right.
But if we just talk about him, he doesn't respond to that. Okay, we have our line that we can safely get up to.
But Serpent Boy is duly warned, so you can be on the lookout.
All right. So later that day, school lets out. I assume Serpent Boy, you know, likely picks up Constance to either, you know, keep an eye on her if you're riding the bus home or walking home.
Is that Patience or is Constance?
Patience, excuse me.
Oh.
Hello.
That'd be a good name for a sibling if she ever had one.
Yeah. Every time I forget what her name is, I start thinking it's Constance for some reason. I guess because either one of them sounds like an old-fashioned name to me. So anyways, eventually school lets out. Frost Giant finishes up his work for the day. What did the Comet spend the bulk of his day doing? I mean, it is Boston. There are historical sites to see. There's stuff to do.
I think he's gonna, unless they've made a clear plan that they're gonna check out the Air Force Base together. Probably spend the day poking around the waterfront where Squadron was spotted, and might swing by the Air Force Base.
Okay.
I don't think I'm going to be. I'm sure I'm not going to be able to track more down because they've got him hidden. If he's in Boston, it's not going to be easy to figure out where he's at. I'm not going to be able to Google him.
Well, give me an awareness. Let me pull up his. It would be awareness and if you had if he had the investigation skill or any kind of specialty like that, that might help.
He does not.
Okay, then it would just be give me an awareness roll. Okay. Okay, so that's a tie or a marginal success. as you're poking around town, or around that part of town, you've got some apartments in the area, some older houses. You see some men in black suits with the little earpieces. Leaving a house, there's the homeowner is standing in the doorway, looking nervous, a little frustrated. These two guys in black suits, typical MIB looking guys.
Right.
Walk down to this black sedan. Kind of give the neighborhood a once over before they get in, and then they drive off. The car's got government plates.
Do I recognize the homeowner at all?
No, he does not look familiar to you.
I'll make a note of the address
Okay.
and I'll follow the car.
Okay. Now, you try to stay out of sight.
Yeah, I'll try.
Well, if you get up directly over the car, maybe they won't notice. Give me a coordination versus their awareness. What is a government agent's awareness? Let's see. Got an awareness 3. All right. All right. You find your little alleyway between a couple of houses. Launch yourself up into the air. So they travel from I've got 2 sets of maps up. I'm clicking on the wrong one. So you're in this general area, the Charleston. Excuse me, not Charleston. I keep calling it Charleston. Charlestown waterfront. And they eventually wind up down around this area. They pull into the Department of Homeland Security. Or their Boston offices. Pretty much just a straight drive back. It's, they weren't taking a bunch of side roads or doing anything like that.
Interesting. I think it would be weird to just, walk up to him and say, "Hey, what are you guys doing?" And my contact was with the military police, not Homeland Security.
That's true.
I'll message Frost Giant again and let him know what I saw, for what it's worth. I don't know that. I kind of feel like I shouldn't be nosing around with Homeland Security too much.
Oh no, I'm sure they love it when amateurs nose around in this stuff.
I'm sure that they do.
Right, so did you message Frostshine, or did you
Yeah.
decide? Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
no, I did.
Frostshine is actually going to do something a little unusual and say, "Be careful, messing around with guys with badges and suits tends to get messy really, really quickly."
It's not the Comet's favorite thing to do. Especially the Men in Black type. He's just not like.
So you're not just gonna walk over to the government agents, "Hey guys, what you doing?"
No, I don't think he's gonna do that.
Clearly, there's only one responsible thing to do. I must kidnap one of these government agents and question.
Trying to. They get well. You know, they were Men in Black. They didn't look like they were the same person. I'm assuming.
No.
They
They
were
were very
all-
clearly. They were dressed the same. They were very clearly different people. Yeah.
I have a thought. I'm going to put it on my costume. Just because part of the Comet's origin is his family disappeared, and he thinks the government may or may not have been involved, so he's kind of paranoid about protecting his identity.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to put my costume on, and then I'm going to just walk into the Department of Homeland Security.
Okay. Well, you know they've got a section that's open to the public.
They'll probably let him in the building anyway. And I'm going to ask if I'll let them know that I heard Squadron might be in town, and you know if they had any information about that. And you know if we could, if you know they wanted to work together on tracking him down.
The guy behind the desk is just kind of staring at you for a second. Hold on a second.
Computer says no.
Well, it's probably also a thing of like, oh, this was supposed to be like a kind of secretive thing, and he just walked up and said it out loud.
If approached,
We don't have a protocol for this.
let's see. If approached by rando with top secret information, withdraw gun from drawer, shoot in face. Do not read this portion aloud. Oops.
Oh crap!
But no, he gets on the, you know, he seems taken aback, like this is the first time he's had to deal with this. But he tells you just a moment, you know, he does some typing. You know, he gets a phone call and it's kind of like, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes. All right. Yes, sir. Hangs up. You'll have a seat over there. Someone will be out to see you shortly. A little bit later, another guy in a suit comes out. Now, he doesn't have the earpiece in or wearing the glasses or anything, but as he walks up to you, it's hello, I'm Agent Greg. I mean, you're obviously the Comet. What's got you up here in Boston?
I heard that got a lead that Squadron had been spotted in Boston.
Oh, where did you get that lead from?
Oh, just a friend of mine.
Oh, if you're still back here to my office, we can discuss. Can't discuss anything out here, kind of in the open.
Sure. I am going to keep an eye out for windows and stuff in case I need to make
A hasty exit.
a quick exit.
He leads you to an elevator. You go up a couple floors. His office has a window. It's not really one of the big windows or something, but there is some natural light in there. You notice most of the signs on this floor, or at least in the area you're in, identify the people you're dealing with as being part of Spear.
Oh, well, that's comforting at least.
You didn't really know how Spear worked, but apparently the Homeland Security, is kind of where they keep their offices. Once you get settled down in his office, he tells you, there's some classified information involved in our investigation of Squadron. I can't share that with you. I am at liberty to let you know that, yes, he has been spotted in the area. We're investigating to try to find out why. Obviously you're familiar with him from the attack in Florida.
Did Moore have a title? Was he like a doctor or a professor?
You heard some of the other researchers there refer to him as doctor.
I'll ask. I don't expect an answer, to be honest, but I'll ask if they know why Moore was a target.
We have suspicions that we are not at liberty to discuss.
Moore wouldn't happen to be in Boston, would he?
We know whether or not he is, but we are not really at liberty to discuss it.
We know the answer to your question, but
But we cannot give it to you.
this guy seems fairly straightforward, even, if he's not willing to divulge information. So I'll just keep badgering him a little bit, kind of mess with him, and be like, so you don't happen to know who lives at, and I'll rattle off the address that I was at earlier.
Well, yes. We do.
But you're not at liberty to discuss.
No, actually, I don't believe there's anything. He kind of holds up his hand. He takes a moment to think because he wants to make sure he ain't about to, slip up and give you anything he'd have to shoot you for, or or something simpler than just getting fired and or arrested. That's the address of a Mr. Blake, Mr. Cody Blake. What would have had you investigating or poking around in that part of town?
Well, I was in that part of town because that's where my friend spotted Squadron.
What a coincidence. That's where we spotted him.
That is convenient.
He doesn't seem particularly surprised with the fact.
So I don't suppose you could connect any of these pieces together for me?
I can't tell you who Squadron is, or who we suspect he is. But being spotted in that area and looking into our suspect's background, Mr. Blake, formerly Lieutenant Blake, was a possible contact. The person we suspect of being Squadron, they knew each other, they were in the military together. So having spotted Squadron in the area, of course you investigate any friends or family they have in the area. So far, Mr. Quick is the only one we have, Mr. Blake is the only one we have, only person in the area we found any kind of connection to him.
Gotcha. Well, I'll certainly be sure to leave Mr. Blake alone.
As far as we know, he's not involved in any wrongdoing. Even if our suspect had been there to see him, it's not like he would have known. It's not like anybody in the general public knows who Squadron is. We're not even 100% certain.
Gotcha. Well, if I can, be of assistance to Sphere, let me know.
I'm glad you said that. Boston is a little short on heroes that are in good standing with Spear. Now, of course, the people that helped you down in Miami, are in the area, but they're not necessarily kind of full-time superheroes. Could you leave a number with me? There's some way to contact you.
I'll leave him an email.
Okay.
Because I don't think he's not going to want to give out his phone number, but he's not going to be so paranoid and prepared that he has a burner phone handy. If that makes sense.
Oh, yeah. He doesn't walk around prepped to be paranoid, but he is cautious.
Yeah.
When you start giving him the email address, he types that in, and then reaches into his desk and pulls out a small flip phone. While you're here in town, if you're willing to, I'll leave you with this. It has a number that I can be reached at, or somebody else in my office. If you find out anything, let us know. If there's an emergency that
Absolutely.
you can, that you can help us with, we can call you on this. There's no tracking software on it or anything like that. Of course, I can't prove that. But because taking down someone like Squadron, it'll be nice to have some superpowered backup.
It'd be nice to finish that job.
And like I said, if you find anything else out, please let us know.
Will do.
And with that, he stands up, shakes your hand. He doesn't walk you all the way back out of the building. He does walk you back to the elevator.
Alrighty. Cool. Well, I'll go visit Frost Giant.
All right. Now, what area of Boston would Frost Giant live in?
Probably somewhere cheap. He ain't broke, but he ain't loaded either.
Plus, he's got 2 kids.
Yep.
Yeah, but if he needed money, he could just cheat at the casino using me.
See, I don't think, as morally dubious as Frost Giant can be, I don't think he'd want to encourage that kind of behavior in a child.
What?
He-
Patience knows they cheat.
He's not a great person, but he's trying to be a good role model. He's terrible at it, but he's trying.
All right, let's see. Cheapest places to live in Boston: Roslindale, West Roxbury, Hyde Park, South Boston. None of which appear to be on my map. Because, of course, I just grabbed... Oh, no. South Boston is. But only just barely way down here. So, alright. We're going to say you live in South Boston. So really, not too bad a drive from, or, well, I guess he'd be flying, so.
He can fly pretty fast.
So yeah, it's just a little ways, and you kind of zip up out of the building and then cut across part of Boston Inner Harbor. And across the Reserve Channel into South Boston. It's not the nicest neighborhood in the city. But you easily, you can easily find a, well, I was going to say like an alleyway where you could change out of your costume, but it's not like people don't know Frost Giant's Frost Giant, so there's really no reason you couldn't just walk up to his apartment in costume.
Right.
And once again, at Frost Giant's strength, not many people are going to attempt.
Well,
Probably.
it could attract supervillains, except he doesn't go out and like do superhero patrol kind of stuff. Dinosaurs show up in the city, he takes care of it. Giant monster attacks the city he happens to be in, he goes out and takes care of that. You ain't gonna have people like the Kingpin gunning for him because he don't really fight crime per se.
Yeah, because what's the point of making a fresh enemy that kind of would ignore you otherwise?
Mm-hmm. So when the Comet shows up at Frost Giant's door, what preparations has Frost Giant made? You were talking about something about getting party supplies.
And an assortment of alcohol, some tray of meat and cheeses, a vegetable platter. Just basically just a guy's night in a face spread.
When the X-Men have downtime, they play sports. We have a kegger.
Woo!
Well, they're also at a school, so that factors into it.
And some non-alcoholic beverages, for the kids, and just in case the Comet doesn't drink. He doesn't know. He didn't ask. He's just trying to make sure everyone's a Comet.
I'm trying to remember which one was it. The second X-Men movie.
If you're talking about the scene where,
Go ahead. What?
oh, are you talking about the scene where Wolverine, where Iceman frosts up Wolverine's beer for him? Or is this, are you thinking of something else?
Oh, is that scene? It's a little bit before that where Wolverine's looking at the fridge. Got any beer?
Yeah,
it's a school.
Yeah.
So no.
We couldn't even find it. He had trouble finding soda. There's like a single 6-pack of soda, and it wasn't even in the fridge. It was kind of hidden on top of the fridge, if I remember, because they're that health conscious.
Really, that just sounds like a joke in there, because the the dean can read your mind. What's the point of trying to hide soda?
Well, what do you think to read your
Sure.
mind, though? So anyway, Comet shows up and there's this spread.
I'm
Well-
online.
Sorry, I had something caught in my throat.
I'll
Hey,
fill 'em in.
hey, come on in, come on in. How'd everything else set up? How you been? It's been been a while since we saw you. Any new adventures? Did you find any leads on your guy?
I did, and I'll fill him in on my lead with that Lieutenant. What was
Cody Blake.
Cody Blake? Lieutenant Cody Blake evidently has some ties, possibly to Squadron. So it sounds like we might have some fun paying a visit to him.
And you say Spears also investigating this?
They are.
This could get
They've already
messy.
given Blake the shakedown.
And they didn't get. Well, they wouldn't tell you if they got anything out.
Just based on what I saw, I'm pretty sure that they didn't get anything out of him.
Well, any idea where to go from here?
Other than see if we can get anything out of Blake.
Could have track him down, and Patience could root around in his brain. If she's willing to. I don't want to force her to do anything like that. But I suppose once they get home, we'll talk about it then, and otherwise just keep our eyes open. Oh, Paps. And he pulls up a can of Pabst Blue Ribbon. Just the cheapest possible thing you could offer.
We're in Boston. Shouldn't we be drinking Sam Adams?
Actually, how popular is Sam Adams in Boston?
That's a good question.
I have not done the
took-
research.
It took them to the 2000s to advertise the Boston Lager. I'm assuming it's kind of meh there.
How popular sponsors in Australia?
I keep wanting to do that from Boston.
Because it's like that big Australian beer that all the Australian people say, yes, that's the beer we let leave.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, a lot of the Mexican tequila we get here, they would probably consider Rio Grande piss. It's just. you
What's
don't
that?
get
Let's
the-
see. Samuel Adams used to be called the Boston Beer Company. Or maybe it's still the Boston Beer Company. That's just one of their brands. I don't know. Irregardless, there is booze and there is food. So, y'all are hanging out for an hour or so when the kids get home.
Yeah, I suspect that I suspect that Serpent Boy probably wouldn't recognize the Comet. Right? Are you in costume?
He would trust these guys to take his mask off.
Okay.
But you're still there in the
way-
body suit.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
On the way in, when Serpent Boy gets in range, Patience will quickly review. So how did Jake go today? Do you have any homework you need to handle?
So the 6-year-old is taking the more adult approach, or like the older sibling.
Exactly.
Well, the more I can keep them on the straight and narrow, the less likely they are to slowly become poisoned over time, like everyone else has.
Who's gonna go bad first, the 6-year-old Omni Psychic or the grandson of Loki?
Well, Patience is just sitting there going, everyone else eventually becomes evil around me.
Right.
I've got to try to make this not happen. This is a decent life I'm living. I want it as long as possible. Oh, and we have a guest.
Oh, right. Hey, Comet.
Hey,
Hey, welcome home, you two.
Yeah. and I'm immediately like going online. If no one stops me, he's just gonna go back to his room and like get online unless anyone stops me.
Yeah, supervillain. Yeah, that's rough. But I got raids today.
I have to do my dailies.
Something.
I
Like
can
that.
respect it.
Patience looks. I'm glad you're the same color that you all are. She goes to the fridge and grabs a snack.
Oh, patience. I have a little bit of... Superboy should have already filled you in on this, but there's a supervillain situation. Well, maybe a supervillain situation. He might have already left, might be hiding somewhere in the city. We don't know just yet.
Patience looks in the direction of Serpent. There's a supervillain?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Frost Giant texted earlier about that. You got me in trouble, by the way. Actually, he stretches head back into the room from his bedroom to let Frost Giant know that he got in trouble. You're not supposed to. You're only supposed to text me. You're only supposed to text me during class hours when there's like an emergency.
I mean, you're the one who decided to check your messages. In class.
Okay, I'll stop checking your messages. Fine.
In class. In class. Smart ass.
Language.
Sorry.
Swear jar.
It's
He gets
okay.
up, gets out his wallet. Goes to the
Patience
counter.
pats him gently on his thigh. I know you're trying.
Anyway, Patience, we do have a lead. Would you be willing to read a person's mind?
Well, yes, I'm always willing to read a person's mind.
I know you are. It's a little bit disturbing, I'm not gonna lie, but he might be kind of a bad guy. But you've already had a experience with that, unfortunately.
Isn't she young for interrogating?
Not interrogating, just, rooting around in somebody's brain.
Hey,
I was
Patience.
all-
Hey, Patience. It's a good thing you're not elemental. Dad would have waterboarded by now.
Wait, I'm sorry. Say that again.
Oh, he just cracked wise that if Patience were elemental, Frost Giant would have her be waterboarding by now.
No, I wouldn't. God.
I mean, to be fair, I was also young for human trafficking, and that happened to me. Looking at Serpent Boy. Oh, and then Patience turns to Comet. Not here, before here.
Oh, thank God.
I was rescued from that. Realizing quickly, I'm accusing these two people from a hero.
I keep telling her if she ever wants to enact bloody revenge against them, we can make like a week-long day trip, and have some fun with it.
And I
You can't be a real superhero until you go on a quest for vengeance.
I also have to remind them, I don't know where I was at that time because I'm blind.
Oh, whoops. Now, see here. I mean.
But yes, bad guy read mind. Got it. I'm sure there will be nothing inside his mind that
Nothing trouble.
draws upon a traumatic experience in me. I'll be fine.
You know, with the tone of your voice, I always have trouble figuring out, are you being sarcastic or not?
Oh, I'm sorry. He will probably have bad memories that he may be able to force on me, but I probably have already seen it before.
I really don't like this world that we all find ourselves living in.
So
All
where
right,
is he? Because I know he's not here.
Yeah, Comet, where did you say this this guy was holed up at?
He lives out by the waterfront, in the waterfront park area. I've got
Now-
the address.
Knock on Serpent Boy's door and ask if he wants to come, or if we need or if he wants us to wait for a little bit so he can do his dailies.
He's gonna. He might. I think he might whine a little bit about. Actually, no. He thinks he can take it on the cell phone. He thinks he can take it onto his mobile from here on out.
Alrighty, that'll work.
Yeah, he might be a little whiny about it, but he'll do it. He might just be a about it, but he'll do it. And that's what's super stretching, by the way. So lots of mopey shifting going on. But he'll play fair just to stay in the game.
Investigating supervillains is it's like a normal teenager's daily chores. He complains about it, drag his feet.
Just take out the garbage.
God.
Alright, so y'all load up in whatever kind of car Frost Giant would have. I'm picturing like a civilian Hummer or something.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, something large size because he's a large guy.
He's big, so it can't
It's
be.
gotta
like
be
a
big.
Yeah.
On the other hand, the idea of him cramming into a little blue Volkswagen Bug is very amusing.
They actually had to get a Jeep because it turns out a guy who's about the size of Harry Dresden can't actually fit into a tiny little Volkswagen. That's why they changed the Blue Beetle in the show.
Huh.
Just have to do like Hulk Hogan did in Suburban Commando and tear the seat out and just sit on the floor. But alright, whatever you're driving, you load up, you drive off. You give in the address. It's a pretty nice home in the Charlestown waterfront area. And this is a pretty decent, kind of old historic neighborhood, pretty decent part of town.
I'll be back. I'll just be back for a minute.
Now, do y'all want to park? Are y'all just going to pull up in front of the house? Or y'all going to park a few streets down? How y'all doing this?
Let's park a few streets down, just so we're not extremely obvious.
And the big blue man will step out and walk to the house so nobody notices.
Yeah, right? Now, it's one thing if, Big Blue Man parks his car in front of your house. It's another thing if you see the Big Blue Man, who is a public figure in your city, just walking down the street.
That is fair. Yeah.
Yeah, because we could be mistaken, instead of a superhero team, we're just a gang.
So the Crips that use
Mike,
blue?
God, give me half a second. I'll be right back, too.
Okay. Alright, so we're going to assume for the moment that it's Frost Giant and Patience that are going to walk by. Oh, wait, nope, Serpent Boy's back.
So you're saying that Lieutenant Blake lives in the waterfront area?
Yes, or the part of town that's called the Charlestown Waterfront.
Sure.
But so are all you gonna walk past walk to the house in one big group, or y'all? Are some of you gonna stay with the car? How y'all doing this?
I might be inclined to, unless I'm needed elsewhere, I might ask for car duty.
Okay.
Patience is gonna kind of sit there like, if you can just tell me what. Are these houses or apartments?
We're gonna say that these are like townhouses.
Then yeah, Patience will say, you can just point at the house. I can try to read his mind from there. We don't have to even say hi to him. Unless he is also superpowered and scary.
Sorry about that, guys.
No,
you're fine.
All right, so y'all. I'm assuming y'all get Patience close enough that she can do her thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Normally, I think you'd have to be able to see him.
Are there multiple colored blobs in the building, or just the one?
There are 2 in the building.
Joyful.
You're far enough away that you can't make out enough detail. And to reiterate for anybody that doesn't remember how Patience perceives things, she doesn't. She's blind, but she basically sees people's souls.
Right, but it's also to a annoyingly strong degree.
Right. If you were right up on them, you could distinguish a man from a woman. And individuals at a distance and through the walls, it's 2 people.
Yeah, sorry. In that form, yes. It's just I can physically detect. Because the whole problem is she can see so far that where people see horizon, she just sees a cloud of the color. So she just sees the general, basically the general moral alignment in the distance. And as she gets closer, she can see more distinct things. Yeah.
Alright, so let's see. Telepathy is telepathy versus willpower. Okay. To read an unwilling or unsuspecting subject's thoughts. Willing subjects do not require a test. A failure means you cannot read their mind without determined effort for the rest of the chapter. Reading particularly deep, forgotten, or long ago memories may require higher degrees of success. Alright, so you're close enough that you can look into the house, or that you can see the spirits of the people in the house. The way one is moving around in a small area makes you think one of them is piddling in the kitchen, while another one seems to be sitting down somewhere.
Patience will go ahead and say that there's 2 people in the building. I've never seen him before. I don't know who's who.
So you said you can see their souls in more detail than you would like.
Well, not in more detail, just in a longer range.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Sorry, I thought maybe you would get an indication.
Well,
if we were messing around with a bad guy or not.
I mean, yes, I can kind of see. I can see whether or not they're quote unquote evil in my eyes.
But that's really based on their dominant emotion, isn't it? So if somebody were really mad about something, Patience might see them as evil, because that'd be the overriding emotion she'd pick up.
Well, the way I was kind of describing it early on was based on kind of like what they wanted at the time.
Okay. So they were being greedy, or they were being thoughtful, or that kind of thing.
Right. Because that was the thing, was like, as people continued to, have her around, they slowly became greedier, paranoid. They kept wanting things more and more out of her.
Kind of like they were realizing she could potentially do things for them, like, I don't know, cheat for them at a casino. and they became fixated on that. Okay, I think it makes sense.
Or became paranoid that their partner was cheating on them and was trying to use a child to discover yes or no.
All right, fair enough. All right, so you've got those two. One of them is, one of them appears to be piddling within a confined area in the house, where one of them is sitting, and from their motions, you would assume messing around on a computer. It's a lot of the same motions you see out of Serpent Boy when he's playing his games, or typing up reports or whatever on his computer.
Is this guy married?
I don't think we know.
That has not come up in the investigation thus far.
I think we're about to find out.
Okay. And you said you were looking for memories of somebody named Squadron?
Yes.
I'm just gonna have to look into one and hope for the best then. Are you guys okay with that?
Just be careful, all right?
Okay. She'll pick the one that's on the computer, because that'll most likely be a little more focused on it than, mental strain while on the computer is a little more not susceptible, but a little more, that 2% more likely to not pay as much attention to something looking in their brain.
All right.
I got a
The
nice
internet numbs your brain.
Well,
Alright.
any visual stimuli helps distract the brain from other things.
Get distracted. Only so much processing power. All right, you pop into this person's brain without any trouble. Surface thoughts. This is a woman. She is going over financial reports. She is a little unhappy to be doing this at home. And mildly concerned because something seems to be agitating. Something seems to have her husband upset. But he doesn't want to talk about it. Which is typical of him. She figures by the time they go to bed, he'll be ready to talk.
And Patience will slowly, gently, without notice, pull out of there.
Not a problem. Like I said, you only got, that's why you picked up just surface thoughts, so that wasn't very intrusive.
Then Patience will turn. He has a wife. I will now attempt again on him. And Patience looks a little embarrassed.
Alright, 6 is the number to beat.
Oh, good.
That's a pretty good success. You pop into his mind. He is making a pie. He's not particularly hungry. He's not even making a kind of pie that he likes. It's literally just what he had the ingredients for. With that success, you can get below just the surface thoughts. You realize baking is something he does to calm himself. You know, bad day from work, make some cookies. Something's got you stressed out, bake a cake. Well, today he's making a pie. He's very worried. When he was in the Air Force, well, you can see from his memory that a few days ago he got visited by a friend of his that he thought was dead.
This is now things that I'm going to say aloud to the team.
He was him and his buddy both, lieutenants in the Air Force. They were test pilots. They were testing some sort of new plane, some just real high-end technology. He figures, given the time frame, he figures it was something using some of the alien tech from when those aliens showed up in Mansford. But he didn't have he had the security clearance to use the tech, but not to know where it came from. If that makes any sense. It's just what he suspects. But
Well, that's like you have allowance. Like, no offense, I have allowance to put in computers inside a car bumper. I do not have the clearance to go looking through the operating system of that computer.
Yeah, that's fair. But anyway, his buddy, Lieutenant Morton, though he thinks of him more often as just Mal.
Mal Morden.
Mal Morton.
In alliteration, he couldn't possibly be in the relevant character.
Patience Purdue listens carefully about Mal Morden.
I just always liked Stan Lee's thing, where he talked about he did that a lot, you know, especially in the '60s, those initial Marvel characters in the '60s, just so we could keep up with all their names because they were creating so many characters so quickly. It helped him remember who was who. But yeah, he, you know, everything was hush hush and top secret, but he could have sworn Mal was in a plane that exploded. He wasn't on the base when that test was going down. He was on leave at that point, so you know he was a state away visiting family, you know, when it happened. But then a couple days ago, Mal showed up. Showed up, had a story about bailing out. But you know, with everything being hush hush, had some excuses as to why he never got into contact with anybody, or at least with Mr. Blake. That Blake doesn't really believe. But they were involved with hush hush stuff. He had assumed that his buddy must have just, you know, survived the crash and gotten, you know, deeper into the project and had gone, you know, kind of had to go off the grid or something. Mal spent a night with him. You know, we left the next day. It had been a good visit. He was, hey, you know, buddy I thought was dead wasn't. He's back in touch. Seems to be doing okay. Then the spooks showed up. They identified themselves as Department of Homeland Security. there were all these questions. There was references to an attack down in Florida, which he had heard about. Some villain hitting an Air Force base down there. Yeah, because he's got buddies that are still in the service. But he hadn't really thought much about it. It had stuck out with him because it was a base that he had been assigned to at one point. But these guys showed up. Some people got hurt, but you had a hero down there show up. Fairly typical news story for this world. But then the spooks were asking him all kinds of questions about Mal, and when he admitted that Mal had been there talking to him, they want to know what they talked about, and and they were fairly threatening. They were kind of making subtle threats as they left. Not shoot you and bury you in a field kind of threats, but all the legal ramifications if he'd been helping this guy out and that kind of stuff. So they didn't. It's like he got the impression they didn't want to believe that he had just shown up and a buddy of his had just shown up. But now he's paranoid that they could be tapping his phone. Or that they could have somebody watching. He's
reading his mind.
That hasn't really occurred to him. Maybe if they'd identified themselves as Spear, he'd be worried about that. But and he knows he's not up to anything. He's not worried about them actually finding anything. But he's a little worried, well, what if Mal shows back up and they're watching? What has Mal gotten himself into? What did he have to do with that? Did he have something to do with that attack down in Florida? Because they weren't, the spooks were trying not to let anything, trying to get information from him without letting anything out.
Yeah, patience will go ahead at this point let go. Because, everyone now knows, yeah, this dude is just, he's not scared because he's done anything. He's scared because, an old friend showed up and then suddenly the government showed up right behind him. He's not scared because he's done a bad thing.
So this Mal guy, he's probably Squad, or connected to Squadron in a pretty direct way.
Yeah, it seems pretty obvious that Sphere thinks that he might be Squadron. The question is going to be, did Mal leave this guy any way to contact him? Is he a lead for Mal other than just casing his place?
Well, from the memories, it was, he came, they had a night, he left.
Right.
Do we know of anywhere in Boston where alien technology left over from the invasion is being kept, or any other high tech equipment?
I'm gonna bet their Air Force base.
No, that wouldn't really be common knowledge. The only place that people know for sure has some of it is the military base outside of Manford. Because that's where it was all taken originally, because, the invasion was pretty well limited to that city. Because, it wasn't a full-fledged invasion, it was just a pirate raid, essentially. But,
yeah.
Now, where the government has divvied it out from there, nobody knows. Internationally, there's the United Nations and a lot of other governments are, have been fussing since that attack, that they should all have access to some of this stuff, but the U.S. has been pretty
unforthcoming.
I was going to say tight-lipped, but that's not really, they're wanting stuff, so it's more like they're keeping the purse strings pulled tight.
Well, and also now with the UN having come out as having spoken with other alien races already, the U.S. is probably even tighter on that bag.
Aliens that use blood magic.
As far as we know, it's blood science.
It's just significantly advanced blood science.
No, it's
Oh,
it's
that's-
science so advanced you don't understand it.
That's much more comforting. Okay.
I'm willing to bet that more had something to do with the project this Mal guy was on.
Just because all their names have M's doesn't mean they're all attached.
Well,
I mean, they
Unless I had a
probably
bad
are.
memory and needed to keep it with ways to remember all.
but I mean, it would explain their connection, why he was attacking him on an Air Force base. This guy was Air Force also and involved in a secret project. I'm willing to bet this guy was in some way involved in the research of whatever he was involved in. That's my theory.
But anyway, so y'all are having this discussion in the vehicle. Well, are y'all? Excuse me. Are you gonna sit there parked talking about this, or are y'all gonna crank up and drive off while y'all are talking?
I mean, the only other
Go ahead.
the only other thing that we might do here that I don't know if we want to do it or not is we could still approach this guy in person, and try and be less threatening than Spear. Just say, we're looking for Mal. We want to help. We're not looking to cause trouble for this guy, but we would like to locate Mal and to leave any contact information. It seems likely that he would have if they were friends reconnecting.
Should we say that we're? Wait, no. He saw the news about it being stopped, the original Air Force attack, right?
Mm-hmm.
I saw that in his brain.
Yes, you saw that in his brain. Yeah.
So you could come as dressed as the Comet, and just be like, "Hey, I'm the Comet. I stopped this attack. I think it's this guy, but I don't know."
Right.
I think you could probably do that.
We just, let him know. It's like we're not even really hard after Mal. We just think it might be this guy, and if it is, we need to stop him. We don't have to hurt him, and we're certainly not out to cause trouble for Blake. Did I get his name right? It's Blake, right?
Yeah, Cody Blake.
I should be like Mike and just start writing all this stuff down because I'm bad with remembering the names.
Yeah, I've got one player in my other game that he is phenomenal at. You name all, you rattle off what PC it is or NPC they ran into, and he'd stop there and he'd think, and he'll come up with the name or you'll tell him the name and he'll tell you where it came from.
But yeah, I mean, I'll go knock on the door.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'll do like he said. He was like, "I'm the Comet, and believe it or not, I'm here to help."
I just picture him opening the door and you're just sitting there, fists on your hips. Hello, citizen.
And and I'll just let him know that I thought. I keep on wanting to call him Sergeant.
Anyway, he opens the door. He takes one look at you. You're the Comet, aren't you?
Yes, I am. It's like
He's getting recognized.
it's like, and I'm not here to cause you any problems. I'm not here to cause you trouble. I'm just here to help. It's like I know that Homeland Security was here earlier and gave you the shakedown.
He kind of glances behind him. He kind of steps out onto the stoop with you and shuts the door behind him. Yeah, they did. You were the hero that helped the Air Force base attack down in Florida.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, I saw you on the news later about the giant monster, but that was you at the base too.
Right. I fought Squadron, and Spear seems to think that your friend Mal may have a connection to Squadron. I'd like to find out. I know he was here. You know, did he leave you any contact information?
No, I gave him my number and email, and he said he hadn't settled down anywhere yet.
Okay.
Which, I mean, I could see maybe if you're moving across country, maybe you're between phones or something. But how do you not have an email address already? I mean, I didn't make a thing about it, you know.
Right.
I just figured he was having some troubles once he got out of the service or something.
Maybe he was just hiding out and, you know, was looking for a place to crash.
Well, with Homeland showing up like that, I figured that's what it was. If they were after him, I figured he was just trying to find somewhere that they wouldn't find him.
Well, in the unlikely event that he does contact you, if you're willing, let me know, and I'll give him my email address. It's like, I do have an email address.
He jots it down.
And, you know, and I will thank him for his time.
Oh, sure. Back when we worked together, Mal wasn't a bad guy. I don't know what would have pushed him over the edge, but
well, we don't know, but you know, hopefully we'll find out and help him.
yeah, just try to. I mean, you know, I've seen footage of them super fights. I know how rough they can get. Try not to. Well, I guess I'm just saying, don't be any rougher on him than you have to be. And
We will. I kind of get the feeling he just inadvertently got involved in something that, you know, went bad for him.
Hell, I hope it's something that can get sorted out.
We'll do our best. But again, thanks. I'm sorry to
Before you go, here, take my. Here's my email. However it turns out, I'd really appreciate it if you could let me know.
Oh, sure.
Just, you know, so I'm not sitting around worrying about it. Even if it ends bad, at least I know.
That sounds awful. We'll do it. And again, thank you for your time.
Sure, I hope I helped. Now, do you walk back to the car, or do you take off dramatically while he's standing there?
I'll take off dramatically.
Yeah, he watches you till you disperse that.
I'm betting, guys, that he was just hiding out and he's planning an attack on probably the Air Force base here. Is my guess. And it's probably going to be soon.
Well, I suppose a good stand to do a little stakeout for a couple nights. Are you two feeling up for it? He frosh around and asks Serpent Boy and Patience.
He has class in the morning.
I was gonna ask if I was. Yeah, I was just gonna ask if I could get off class. Write me a note.
I'm not sure how well your teacher would accept. Was on a stakeout, and potentially in a life or death struggle. All right, missed the math test.
Just I don't know, make up a disease. They don't know what makes serpent. That's what makes serpent boys sick. How are they? They won't know any. They won't know. They won't be any the wiser.
Please don't lie in front of a child.
She can read minds. She's used to deceit. Am I right? Am I right?
No, patience is a point.
I
You both
I
got
do
four.
not want the seed of evil planted within you.
You could have just said no.
I'm you forget I'm also here to help do the Lord's work. Lying is
That's
bad.
right.
Don't do bad
That's
things.
I keep forgetting your. No. Christianified. We haven't had that discussion yet, being.
Yeah, it's a little awkward. But
I'm just picturing the religious conversation in this group in that little family. So you believe in pagan deities? No, we're related to pagan deities.
We are.
We don't worship any of them, but we go have Thanksgiving with some of them. So
Well, yes, I've heard all about him. The Oracle at Delphi was very powerful.
or a heretic. Alright, how about this? Frost Giant goes out, does the stakeout. You two go home with the Comet, and if something goes down, or we go out there, hang out there until about midnight, or about 10 o'clock. If by 10 nothing's happened, the Comet takes you two home. I'll stay here, and if something goes south, I'll give the Comet a text, and he can come back me up. You two can come if you feel up for the task.
Sounds good. Internally, I'm fist pumping because I just got out of stakeout duty.
stakeouts are boring.
Yeah, I can't even be on the phone. I gotta pay attention and stuff.
Stakeout duty is the worst, especially for kids.
Patience quietly holds to herself. That spear could probably write us a note.
I
Well, you know.
really don't want to get Spear involved more than I have to.
Well, if it's a brawl that makes it on the news, you can always just use that as an excuse.
Yeah.
Sorry, I missed the first 3 periods. I was up late last night fighting a supervillain.
I was fighting evil.
Probably saw it on the news this morning. Alright, so you send the kids home with the Comet, so at least they've got adult supervision. So it's kind of funny. Oh, I've seen you without your mask on once. Here, take care of my kids.
You are totally trustworthy.
Alright, Frost Giant, so you stake out the Hanscom Air Force Base. Like I said, it's a bit outside of Boston, but at the speeds the Comet can move, yeah, he could back you up pretty quick if it came down to it. First few hours you're out there, nothing really goes down. Then alarms start going off. Lights go on. You start hearing you see some of the, like street lights. They seem to kind of. It's like they go dark, but then they come back on, and some other sections goes dark. Like you've got this little area of darkness that's moving around. Then you see a jeep full of MPs, heavily armed MPs, driving down the road. You're seeing them gaps through buildings. As they're passing through one kind of empty spot where you can see it, it's like a pillar of ice just appears up under it and flips the thing over.
Okay, so I'm gonna give the Comet a call, like an actual call, not just a text message. Let him know shit is going down.
I'll wake up the kids.
Yeah, what time is this exactly?
This is probably 11-ish.
That might still be up.
Yeah, Serpent Boy might still be up, whether he's supposed to be or
Stars
not.
just got dim enough for me to go to sleep.
Patience has probably been in bed a couple 3 hours by now. So what do you tell Comet in your message?
Let him know shit is going down at the Air Force Base. Looks like somebody with ice powers. Did your guy have ice powers? Or this might be somebody else, or somebody working with him.
Curtis, when Comet fought Squadron, he had flight, super
No.
strength, and duplication was all you knew about.
Right, yeah, that didn't sound familiar from your earlier description. Yeah, it's like looks like the stakeout is, paying off. And I don't know if I'm strong enough to carry both Patience and Superboy and fly them or not.
What is your strength?
5?
That's pretty.
No, my strength is 4.
That's
No,
still
3.
above average, and Patience
No,
is just a
well,
little kid,
well,
so
it's just 3. That's a high average.
That's high
but it's
average.
not- I don't know how heavy Serpent Boy is.
I think he's basically a lanky
Heavier
teen.
than I'd look.
I mean, technically, he could stretch himself out into a parachute. Well, no,
Yeah,
that
parachute
would
would not
still
help.
have a lot of wind resistance.
If there's a waterway, I could just swim over there. I could swim pretty fast, but I was suspecting I wouldn't be able to cover that with. We're not living in Venice.
But I may not be strong, but I do fly very, very fast. So if Serpent Boy could stretch him out into a kite, he can trail
Actually, yeah.
along.
I'll stunt that. That probably would be a stunt. But I'll
But actually, you could just keep a hand on him, stretch out, and then just pull yourself to the hand.
but that's still Comet supporting my weight.
No, you're on the ground. You're just stretching.
There are limits
he
to how
can't-
far Serpent Boy can stretch. He's got a pretty
Yeah.
good range on it, but I think it's measured in city blocks, not miles.
Yeah, I've got some ability to experiment with my.
But with a 3 strength, I think Serpent Boy could probably, hold on himself, and then he could carry. Then a Comet just carry Patience because she don't weigh much of nothing.
Yeah, I guess power stunt myself to stretch into like a aerodynamic form where the wind can support my weight as well as Comet. I'll spend a determination for that. How much determination? I've got 3 determination. I'll do that for 1.
We've gone from comic book territory to Saturday morning cartoons.
No, well.
Well, Plastic Man was kind of both of those things, so
Yeah,
What?
he could turn himself into a cape.
So, however you want us, whatever you allow us to, I guess, handle this challenge with, I'll pay whatever. Or
I'm just
roll
loving
whatever.
the visual.
So yeah, you grab onto the Comet's back, and then give yourself like stiff aerodynamic wings or something, or stretch yourself out flying squirrel style or something to add some lift.
Yeah, exactly.
It probably slows him down a little bit, but the Comet's got what? He had a pretty high flight.
It's really high.
Yeah, you are the Comet.
Yeah,
That's bound to.
it's a flight of 8, so that's
Yeah.
That's supersonic, so
Oh yeah.
you probably wouldn't want to travel that fast carrying passengers anyway. So
no. No, I've got the kids with me. I've got precious cargo.
Oh, curses. I'll never be Helen Keller at this rate. I'm from the state she was born in, and she's a hero in my eyes. Just for the record.
Oh, she should be a hero in all her eyes.
but lost my train of thought.
Helen Keller will do that.
Well, I was thinking about there's a game called Super Fight where you get random
yeah.
characters and equipment.
yeah.
And I was once involved in a fight. It was Helen Keller in a tank versus the Hulk.
Okay.
I forget what other equipment I have. Yeah, it was just the kind of weird stuff that crops up in a Super Fight game. But so y'all zip off inland towards the Air Force Base. Frost Giant, are you waiting on them to get there, or are you going on in?
Oh, I'm going on in.
So you jump forward. I'm assuming you probably gain some size while you're moving.
Yeah.
Give me an awareness roll.
Because that's such a good stat for me. Oh.
Alright, it's a marginal success. You don't see exactly where he came from, but you realize he must have been staking the place out like you were. Where are my handouts? Here we are. You see this man in kind of the old school aviator kind of get up. You can't see it great in that picture, but he's got a little red scarf flying out behind him.
And he has painted his nails.
If you zoom in, they're kind of gray. For whatever reason, the character creator made him blue, and I didn't notice when I was making him. I tried to edit the picture later, but
I mean,
whatever.
it's all right to care about your appearance. I'm not insulting him.
But anyway, he was clearly staking the place out, not too far down from where you were, apparently. By the time you catch sight of him, though, he's already kind of out ahead of you. And just as he hits kind of the border of the base, you see him split, and now there's 5 of him.
Oh,
Based-
that's our guy.
Yeah, based upon that and the fact that the picture is named Mal, I'm going to assume this is Mal.
Quick, read his alt text.
Slight oversight when I was creating my handouts.
Well, he's flying and split into a bunch of people. We only had so many guesses of who that could be.
Yeah.
Unison's not around.
But he is attacking the base in unison. And he's got his goggles down, so his face is somewhat obscured. But, but as they cross, as he's crossing in, he splits up. And then different hymns are flying off in different directions. You have no way of knowing which one the original was.
I'm just gonna pick one and try and swat him out of the air. First, I guess that I have to actually catch up to him, but
Yeah, and he's moving really fast.
yeah.
And there is whatever else is going on in the base. Still going on.
Yep.
You're hearing some gunfire.
I'm just gonna maintain my course then.
Alright, so you're running into the base. As you get in the base, you see MPs are firing at somebody that seems to be flirting in and out of the shadow. Obviously, they're generating some shadow. One of the MP's vehicles has what looks like a spear made of ice through the door. The MPs had already been taking cover behind it, so there was nobody in the car when that happened. But you see the flipped over vehicle.
I'm gonna shrink down to my normal size and go up to find an MP that looks least likely to shoot me in the face, and then give them the rundown that whoever this is, they have reinforcements coming, and just give them a rundown of Squadron's abilities that we know of.
So you run up on two MPs. One of them's hands are encased in ice, and the other one has got his rifle out, basically bringing the butt of the rifle down, trying to break the ice around the guy's hands when you walk up on him. He starts to lower his gun at you as you start rattling off, hey, they've got, there's another one incoming, this is what he can do. And, within just a second, they recognize you because you are known locally.
Yeah. And I was just going to wrap my knuckles on the ice encasing the guy's hands.
It shatters. He starts rubbing his hands together, sticking them under his arms.
Yeah, you're not going to want to let those warm up too quick. That's hypothermia. Hypothermia can be real nasty if you're susceptible to that.
Yeah. Hopefully they weren't in there that long. It's just mighty uncomfortable.
So, any idea who the first problem is? And yeah.
I don't know, man. Pretty sure it's a woman. She's white like a ghost. Like albino white. Dark hair though. In this weird, like, there ain't enough of it to call it armor, really, but it's kind of an armored top section with these, these kind of pointy things on her shoulder. We couldn't make out a lot of detail. But, she seemed, she was covering up she was blotting out the light. She's throwing ice at people. Screaming about or yelling about where he is. There was somebody she wanted to talk to, but I didn't catch the name.
Huh. All right. Well, I got some backup coming too. Comet and two of my little friends. So hopefully we'll have this wrapped up pretty soon.
Say hello to my little friend.
Little friend, say hello to them. Patience just waits.
Hey.
And you hear the gunfire like a block or so further down. And then there's a you hear the loud crunch, and then kind of woof of flame from further away. In your line of work, you recognize the sound. Somebody has thrown a car, and it's now caught on fire. You also see one of the squadrons zipping down to where you were hearing that gunfire.
Yeah, Frostgiant's gonna just smile, crack his knuckles, and start heading that away. And beginning again. Just give himself that little bit of extra toughness and offense.
Yeah, but how tall does Frost Giant get?
25 feet.
Okay. So that's good Tyrannosaurus height, at least. Maybe a little bigger, I don't know. So you round the corner, you see a bunch of MPs taking cover. There's a few laid out unconscious. There's one that's encased in ice, up to about his shoulders. And as you round the corner, Squadron is floating there, talking to this woman that pretty much matches the description you're given. Extremely pale white skin, very dark hair, kind of skimpyish outfit, but armored in spots. Kind of your typical fantasy female armor. It's really a stereotype. You're really sitting there going, that would never work as armor. Crap. I'm blanking. What do they call the shoulder pieces on armor?
Pauldrons?
Pauldrons, thank you. Paladin and palladiums were the only things occurring to me, and I knew that wasn't right. So she's got pauldrons on that kind of come out in almost a beak shape. There's kind of not carvings, but designs on them. Gives them kind of a raven motif. In fact, the art style kind of makes you think Norse. Her and Squadron seem to be having an argument. It hasn't come to violence yet. She doesn't seem to be attacking him. He is upset because whatever she's doing is getting in his way. She doesn't seem to be overly concerned about whatever his problems are. Her quest has led her here. She will have the information she needs out of these mortals. And then she kind of cuts off mid-sentence when she sees you around the corner.
Hello.
I thought the Jotuns were extinct on this world.
Oh, there's still a few of us kicking around. And you are, lass. I'd really like to know the names of the two people I'm about to smash into the ground.
She kind of straightens herself up a little bit. I'm the oldest Hell Daughter.
Oh.
Whoa, wait a minute.
I see.
Wait, Hell Daughter? Is that one Hell Daughter?
I don't know. She said it. She didn't spell it.
Okay. Well, that definitely caught up Serpent Boy's concern.
Or will when you get there, hear the name.
Are we speaking of the realm or the ruler of said realm?
Where Mother rules the realm.
And Frostgiant's face just cycling through concern, worry, ecstatic joy, and right back to worry. And I guess you're a Squadron, right?
I am, and I think I know who you are.
Oh, I'm famous.
You fight Godzilla down in Florida, people remember you. But that's alright. I was kind of prepped. I knew I might run into you if I was here in town. Or here this close to Boston.
Well, you can make all the plans you want to take on the big show, but I'm afraid once you actually try and deal with me, every plan always comes up short.
Yeah. I knew you were probably some kind of pagan or something, but how familiar are you with David and Goliath? And then there was a burst of speed, and he had beelines for your forehead, just 2 fists outstretched.
Dang.
Where I put his stats, there we go. You know, and he's just talking very this, and it's kind of mid-sentence, and he just takes off at you. It's a sign of respect. He knows he needs surprise on his side.
Yeah.
So give me a prowess roll. Let's see, and let me see. Aerial combat is mostly for defense, isn't it? Add your specialty bonus to your defense combat tests while you're gliding or flying. Alright, so yeah, that does not help him in the attack, only in defense. So his prowess. Prowess is a 6. Oh no. So that is a massive success.
Mm-hmm.
He rolled almost as high as he could. Frost Giant rolled almost as low as he could.
So that was as low as I could.
Do what now?
That was as low as I could.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, thank goodness I have 4 ranks damage reduction.
Alright, so this is a slamming attack. So, Squadron does 7 points of damage to you.
Knock that down to 3. Still
And
not feeling good.
And there is a possible slam, so give me a strength roll versus his strength. Alright, you beat that, so you don't go flying back an area. He doesn't knock you down. You just kind of stagger back a step or something. Yeah.
Oh, you've actually got some muscle to you. This might be fun. Where the hell is the Comet?
While y'all are doing that, my oldest has... It's like she's decided, well, let the boys fight, whatever. She walks over to one of the MPs and kind of just grabs him by the front of his uniform and lifts him up off the ground. And is literally shaking him while she's talking to him. She's yelling something about wanting to know where the Achilles doctors are. The MP is wide-eyed and like stammering that he don't know, he don't know what you're talking, what she's talking about.
I bet I know who she's looking for.
So, Zach, if you want to respond to any of this going on, take you a turn right quick. And then next round, we will have the Comet will show up.
Alright. Yeah, I'm just going to take a swing at the at Squadron.
Okay, this is his prowess. plus his aerial combat.
Damn.
He zips out of the way. He's very maneuverable. You can tell he's going to be a fun one to fight. Oh crap, it's already 3:30. Alright. So as that fight has started, and you're hearing stuff going on elsewhere, because you know there's at least 4 other squadrons running around, so... Alright, Comet and the kids, you come blazing in, past the front gates, or kind of over the front gates. You see some wrecked vehicles. You see a group of MPs that seem to be reorganizing, and are heading off deeper into the base. As you're flying up, some of them turn around and point, and one guy kind of starts waving you down.
Look, up in the sky.
It's an asteroid. It's a meteor.
It's a bird. It's a little girl. It's a Serpent boy.
Look out for falling snakes. Anyway, you see one of the guys looks like he's trying to wave you down.
We'll go to where they're waving us down. Or I will take us to where they're waving us down.
Okay. You land. Comet, right?
Yeah.
Frost Giant's already on the scene. He said he'd called you in as backup.
That's right.
And you brought a little girl?
Hey, she's tough. And
I am not
was
tough.
babysitting.
I am not tough. I am a little girl. Please do not kill me.
And she's sassy.
I'm just here to heal people and make sure that they don't go to the Lord before they're supposed to.
Oh, well, we got a guy over here that took a lick to the head if you wanted to look at him.
Ah. Rangeless heal.
Do you do that at range, or do you have to touch people?
It's healing with the extra ranged plus the extra rangeless. Because my detection can go outside the range of ranged.
As long as that weird perception of yours can perceive them, you can just hit them with it. Okay.
Yes. Both my force field and healing abilities have that.
Okay. That's right, because you're the support. You built her as a support.
Yes. Because my force field has 4 extras on it.
Where there were a couple of people helping this one MP. He suddenly kind of sits up, and they're like, "Whoa, slow down," And then they kind of pull back as they watch, one of the bruises get smaller and smaller and disappear. You don't think it was a life-threatening injury, but probably a bad concussion at the very least. But they give him a quick going over, and you see him start helping him up. The MP talking to you's like, "Whoa, yeah, I could see having you around to be handy."
Unfortunately.
Anyway, he turns his attention back to the Comet. Yeah, hit it off that way. We have apparently 2, he would say we've got reports of like 5 or 6 people running around. One is a woman in one of them weird villain costumes. She's like paper white. And then we got a squad of guys running around or flying around, looking like Amelia Earhart's younger brother. They're tossing vehicles and stuff, so they're strong. I'd watch out for them.
We're prepared.
Glad to hear it. Frost Giant dropped his name, so I'm assuming it's somebody some of y'all have run into before.
I have. Okay, you all ready?
Sure, let's do this.
I'm not getting any closer.
Oh yes, with your perception, you can see Frost Giant off in the distance.
Yeah, I'm ready to help from here.
So
Bullets kill me.
you see him rubbing his head with one hand and taking a swing at the guy with another. You also see someone off in the distance like that in your soul sight, she is so much brighter than normal people. Like even at this kind of distance, you can make out, you can tell without a doubt that she's a woman.
We have a distinct lady in that direction. Mental switchboard of the team.
Oh yeah, that is something you can do with your telekinesis or telepathy.
Can you see where Squadron is, I'm assuming?
The one that's fighting.
You can see the one that's fighting Frost Giant for sure. And off in the distance, you can see one or two more people that are obviously people flying. But they're far enough away you can't really tell one person from another. If it's the same person, different people.
And honestly, this would be Comet's first time getting any kind of mental image of how Patient sees the world. Mm-hmm. So you really would have a rough time, visually understanding it. It's like it would basically like showing someone a heat map. It's well, hold on. I got to take a second to kind of recognize what things are on a heat map.
But it gives the comment. Okay, that's Frost Giant and those other folks over there. A couple of flying folks over there. And lots of people at ground level. You have no hope of telling one from the other there, other than that extra bright lady.
Well, I think we probably am going to focus on Squadron for now.
All right. Are you going to go after the one Frost Giant's fighting, or are you going to go hit one of the other ones that's elsewhere on the base?
I'll bet he can handle the one he's fighting. Frost Giant's tough. So I will go after one of the other one.
Okay. All right. Patience, you said you're good where you're at to help whoever. Serpent Boy, where are you headed?
Since no one's, I guess the bright lady. I'm going to assume that nothing I've heard in that very brief description would tip off any reason to think that there may be a personal connection.
Nah, supervillain, weird armor, or weird outfit.
Pale lady. That doesn't really
pale.
Right. So, but I will head her towards her since at least part of the squadron seems to be taking care of for now.
Okay. All right, and with your stretching, you can move pretty good, if I recall. What is it? Is it swinging you've got?
I don't know if I don't have the swinging power per se.
Okay, it might have just been something we talked about one time.
I've stretched. Yeah, I probably used it once.
Maybe that was it. Maybe you power stunted it one time when you
Yeah.
needed to really get somewhere.
Right. Normally I just have stretching at 6, and then also there's the knockout breath. Also at 6.
All right. So anyway, you run off in that direction. So you'll be there next round. Comet will be across the base to where the next closest flying guy is. So jumping back to... Well, now that everybody's here, let's go ahead and get an initiative, get a good actual initiative order going. Let me clear the turn list. I'm going to drop you guys on the map
Wolfa, stop.
just so I can
No one wants to hear a dog bark.
dogs do. Dogs live for that.
They live for barks and butt smells.
Mm-hmm.
6568.
Oh wait, no, that's the wrong one. There's one. And apparently I forgot to upload the token for Squadron. So we'll just use the silhouette for him. Alright, that should be a turn for everybody. Alright, so Frost Giant got an 8. The Comet got a 6. Serpent Boy got a 5. Oh, I don't think I threw Serpent Boy down.
I like the Comet icon.
Alright, so Serpent Boy got a 5. Patience got a 6. Let's see, that's coordination, so that's a +5 for him. So that's a 9 for Squadron. And my oldest has a 6. So that's a 7 for her. In descending order. Alright. So top of the order is Squadron. He makes another attack on Frost Giant. His prowess is a 6.
I don't like that.
Yeah, you know. I'm sure big guys can dodge fine.
That's a lot of numbers.
Alright, so as a tie, a marginal success, he only does half damage. Half of 7 is round down, so 3.
And I completely tank that.
Yeah, I was thinking you could. So he plows into you. He flies away. You see him shaking his hands. Ah!
You got a lucky shot last time.
Nah, I think you got lucky this time. So that went down. Comet. Well, first let me make an awareness roll to see if he spots you coming in. And, you know, it's night and you're very bright when you're flying, so... let's see, awareness 4.
I would be probably hard to miss.
Yeah, just give me a straight... Well, I can just roll it. Just a straight D6 for the difficulty. Alright, so yeah, he sees you coming in and he beelines for you. You hear him swearing as he comes at you. Are you following me, kid?
Language. No, but I am going to stop you this time.
You don't know what's involved here. You're not on the right side of this. And he flies a big swing at you, so 9 is the number to beat. This would be prowess, and if you got like aerial combat or something, then that would add to your defense.
Illuminate me.
Okay, that's a tie, so you take 3 points of damage, minus whatever protections you might have.
Yeah. He shrugs that off. Since he's flying.
That's right. He's got the force shield, kind of like cannonballs. Next up is Frost Giant.
All right. I'm gonna power stunt this, and I'm gonna try and knock him out of the air with a thunderclap. Just slam my hands together like a Hulk, and try and disable, knock him out of the air with the shockwave.
All right, what are you tapping into? Which quality are you tapping to spin that point?
Let's say one hell of a right hook, just to emphasize the strength, my raw strength.
Okay, that sounds reasonable. All right, so that's a 12. Trying to remember. Let's see. Now, how in the world does Thunderclap only appear once in Great Power, and it appears in the air control section?
Huh.
Because I was trying to see mechanically how they do Thunderclaps. All right, so what is it you're trying to do with your Thunderclap? Mechanically, how are you trying to make this work? You want something that he can't dodge with his...
Yeah, it's pretty much just an AoE shockwave.
Okay, we're gonna call that a stun. Like the power stun.
Yeah.
And then we'll say that he resists it with his. We're gonna say will. It's basically it's like if you can disorient him, then he may drop. You may get him to drop out of the sky. Let's see, what is his will? All right, so let me make that roll. Gotta beat a 12. That ain't looking too good.
That should actually be a 13. I did not bump up my strength for being a giant.
Ah, I got you.
Yeah.
You have a +2 when you're at full size.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's +1. Excuse me.
Yeah.
No, he rolled as good as he could. But 13 still gets it to a major success. Let me look up. Stunning. All right. Coordination versus coordination, but you were power starting with your strength as an area, kind of an area thing, so that's fine. You got a major success. Yeah, he drops to the ground. Is disoriented. What is the level of your strength?
9.
Means the target can take no action for a level duration. So it's 9 turns before he can do something. He is this one of him anyway is for all intents and purposes out of this fight.
I shake my hands and just go. Always hurts the wrist.
There's a reason I don't do this very much. The level of noise you made, my oldest stops yelling at the guy she's holding. Kind of puts one hand over an ear and looks up at you, and she sees, Squadron spiraling down. She's kind of like, ugh. She drops the MP she's holding.
Is she in the air when she drops him, or is she?
No, she's just standing on the ground. It's literally like she wasn't getting any information out of her. She just kind of. She screams up at you, wanting to know why you're working with the mortals, or working for the mortals.
I don't work for anyone. I just do what I think needs to be done.
She's like, as long as that doesn't involve me. And Lily just turns her back on you and starts walking away.
Oh, no. You need to get back here, too. You've hurt a lot of people. You might have killed a few people, too. I can't let that slide.
They fired on me.
Hey, you were the one who broke in. I don't have much respect for authority, but even then I understand there's consequences for your actions. And I really want to test my mettle against you. No offense.
I call dibs.
I'm going to assume Serpent Boy is just arriving on the nearest rooftop.
Something like that.
Or at least that's how I kind of imagine him. If you ever read any of the old comics where like Captain America and some of them would be running across rooftops and leaping. Or the Crow movie for that matter. I kind of picture Serpent Boy doing that, but he's not jumping the gaps. He's just stepping over them.
Yeah.
It's a lot safer that way. He's seen Hellboy. Sometimes you make those jumps and you miss.
Hey, little buddy! I do finger guns at her. Daughter of Hell. 1 out.
What?
She looks at
Daughter
you.
of Hell.
I am the oldest, Hell Daughter. Who are you?
Now, does any of that ring a bell to Serpent Boy? I don't know of how much knowledge he has to his the remaining survivors of the 9 worlds.
Not specifically. He would know enough about the culture to do like Frost Giant when he hears Hell Daughter to put 2 and 2 together.
Mm-hmm. But I have not yet heard of any surviving children of any kind of hell. Is that correct?
That is correct. You don't even in the mythology. You don't even remember if she necessarily had any children.
Right.
You know, she had that kind of half-dead thing going on. So
yeah, is this the first time I've heard of like any like direct blood relatives? I thought I heard some reference to was Ebba Person related to the Fenris Wolf?
well, that was your cousin.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Your cousin is supposed to be related to the Fenris Wolf. The woman in the band.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Okay.
why y'all refer to each
I
other
have
as
heard
cousin.
Gotcha. So I have heard of like I do. This wouldn't be the. I have heard of other like actual like direct blood relatives before.
Yes.
Distant though that may be. But as far as the Hella branch, so to speak, I've had no knowledge of anything like that. So I'm going to be kind of dumbfounded. But I think he may repeat. I think I'd have him repeat the line he did before. Hell, is that? Wait, is that one L or 2?
One. It's only one.
So you're like actually a daughter of Hell.
I am.
Of Hell. Actually, she'd actually say it. How would he phrase it? Wait, what's Hell to him? Aunt Hell, right? Auntie Hell, because she would be the sibling. Because they're both siblings. Like,
Hel was supposed to be a daughter of Loki. Yes.
yes.
And the Midgard
so
Serpent
this
was
would
a
be
child of
Auntie
Loki.
Hell. Yeah. So your mom's Auntie Hell?
She looks at you. Who are you supposed to be? Uh-oh. I think Mike froze.
Oh
Oh
no.
man.
This would be a bad time for him to
Am I here?
glitch out.
Yeah, we hear
Okay,
you.
we hear you now,
You
and the
hear
camera just snapped
Oh,
back.
okay.
So, okay.
Yeah, sorry, my connection's been a little spotty today.
Uh.
Yeah, so Serpent Boy say he tried to sound as regal and noble as possible, but he's got that reedy kind of teen voice. So he basically comes off like I'm the son of the Midgard Serpent.
She looks a little taken aback. She steps
Like,
forward. With one hand, she kind of gestures to Frost
So
Giant.
that makes us.
And let's see. Give me a coordination roll there, Frost Giant.
I'll just keep in my head. Oh, frustrating. That would make us.
Coming right up. The coordination?
Sure.
Yes.
You like Spaceballs, so that makes
Oh
sense.
no.
Absolutely nothing.
All right, 6 plus her ability with her powers. So yeah, she gestures to you, and ice just forms out of the ground up, and it gets pins your arms, it gets you like chest high. You are completely restrained.
Ouch.
That doesn't sound like the right condition name. What is it called? You're pinned eventually, but
Hell?
Bound.
yes, you're in a complete hole. That's what it is.
Nice.
Didn't mean for that to be a pun. Don't make it one.
And when she gets to like the edge of the building, A pillar of ice appears under and raises her up to Serpent Boy's level. Well, you certainly seem to have the serpent aspects.
What are you even doing here?
Searching for information. She reaches out, she's like touching one of the scales.
Excuse me. Is she does she like pull on it? Do I stretch out? Like, does she like?
No, it's literally she's just feeling the texture of it.
Oh, okay, so is there? I'm trying to figure out if this is if I feel like I'm being babied, or is there kind of like some strange unspeakable tension going on here?
Bad touch. Yeah,
it comes off like almost like a doctor examining you. It's like she's not sure if you're telling the truth. It's more of a clinical examination.
Oh, I see. I see. So, in that case, I think Serpent Boy rejoined hers with, I take after Mother in many ways, and then spit some knockout gas in her face.
Okay, give me a roll. Well, hang on, Will.
Since this is, I think the way we've worked this is since I added the burst extra, that I just go straight to rolling for the powers effect if she's close enough. Does that sound right?
Yeah, that sounds fine.
All right, so here comes my knockout breath strength roll. Oh, 12.
As good as you could roll.
And then I have to roll for burnout.
And she resists that with her strength, correct?
Strength or regeneration, whichever's better.
Okay. All right.
No, she doesn't resist it at all. Yeah.
All right, she's got a decent strength, but I don't know if it's going to be enough to.
I just realized my
overdo it
character's
quick.
named Norman, and I refer to my mom as Mother. That's not weird, is it? Mother.
All right, so that's you got a 12. So you got a massive success because she only got a 7.
Well, for this power, massive success is the same as like any non-marginal success. So basically, I do 6 stamina damage that does not get turned away by regular damage resistance, unless the damage resistance is for affliction damage.
Okay.
And then basically I keep testing. I test again at the on the next page.
All right, so you said it was 6.
That's right. And we'll see what she does to me in return.
Oh, she looks pretty upset, but she's taking her action for the round. So, patience.
Oh, let me roll for burnout.
Oh yes, yeah.
I'll
Go
just
ahead.
roll d6, and then 1 or 2 means I'm screwed. That's power screwed.
Okay.
Nope, I'm good for now.
Alright, just a quick mental check. Frosty, how's Frosty feeling?
I'm
Physically?
down to 9 stamina out of 12. I can take a good few more licks.
Alright, then, because he is fighting someone that we don't know what exactly can do, I will pop a force field, rank 4, on Serpent Boy.
Okay.
And it basically gives him damage reduction 4.
Mm-hmm.
For 4 turns.
I'm sure I'll be grateful for that very soon.
No. All right, Comet.
Am I going before the guy that I was fighting? I don't think he's.
He took his swing at you at the very beginning of the round. We're just now getting where you can retaliate.
Okay, I am. We were pretty close to each other. I'll just throw a regular punch at him
Okay.
because I'm half convinced he's telling the truth and that there's more to what's going on than what we know. So I'm gonna see if I can get him to talk. I'll throw a punch and I'll say that it's like if you need to tell me something, now is the time.
Speak now, or forever hold it.
He seemed surprised that you just didn't immediately swing a punch at him. Give me a willpower roll. See how honest you come, how sincere you come off to him.
Dang. Comet is Mr. Sincerity today.
Mm-hmm.
They experimented on me for over a year. Dr. Moore and his butchers. I was testing a plane. They were using some kind of technology they got from one of the downed ships in Manford. Something went wrong with the power source. The entire thing exploded. And, after that I was like this. I figured that just meant the Air Force, would have their super, crap, was it Air Force that had Titan Red, or was it the Army that had Titan Red? I think it was the Army that had Titan Red.
The Air Force had Independence Ray.
Yeah.
That's true.
Before he got signed off to Spear.
Though what happened to Squadron may have happened before what happened to Ray.
Oh.
I mean, he certainly didn't publicly debut until after you. But anyway, I thought, okay, when the dust settled, I figured, okay, I'll still be working for the Air Force. I'll still be flying for the Air Force, just not in a plane. They wanted me to go into a lab to do some tests. That make perfect sense. But then they restrained me and they kept me there and they experimented on me for over a year before I managed to break loose. By the time I got out, the Air Force had them a new pet super. I don't know where they got him. I don't know if something happened to him and they just decided to let him loose while they experimented on me, or if their experiment on me led them to be able to create him. I don't know. But if anybody got the answers, it's Moore, and he's gonna give me those answers, and then he's gonna pay.
Dang. And you think Moore's here?
I've discovered he was transferred to this base. I don't know if he's on the base now or if they've got him stashed somewhere close by.
And who's the frosty lady with you?
I don't know. I was staking this place out, and then that attack happened, and your guess is as good as mine. I don't know. I just know she's getting in the way. And off in the distance, y'all hear that boom from the thunderclap, and you see the squadron you're talking to kind of goes, "Ooh, that one stung."
Well, let's find out what's going on with Frosty, and then we'll see what answers we can get from Moore. But you're not going to hurt him.
I'm not just going to hurt him, no.
He'll answer for his crimes, but you don't get to be the judge and jury.
Oh, sure. We'll let the government. We'll let the government he works for judge whether he was doing anything wrong or not. Yeah, I'm sure they'll put him away. Oh yeah, all that cruel things you did that we told you to do. Yeah, you're in trouble for that now. I'm sure that's how it'll go.
Jeez, one step at a time.
Come on, man. I'm a rookie hero. Give me a little bit of time.
Baby steps.
You rolled pretty good, though. All right, I'll give you. We'll do it your way for now and see how that turns out.
Nice.
So let's find. I think the first thing we need to do is stop Frosty Lady, find out what's going on with that.
Okay. It's all right. If you turn and start heading towards Frost Giant, this squadron will follow with you.
And that will be my turn.
All right, then it would be Serpent Boy is actually the cleanup batter, but we went ahead and did his earlier. We can probably get one more round in before we need to call it for the day. All right, so back to Squadron. Well, the one traveling with the Comet isn't taking any aggressive action. He's just following the Comet as they zip back over. The one close to Frost Giant is still trying to clear his head. He's like semi-conscious over there. And whatever the other ones are doing, you're not privy to that.
If Patience still has us all linked, I'll fill
We
everybody
should still be
in.
mentally linked, yes.
Yeah, I'll fill everybody in on.
Yeah,
my
the way
comment.
the telepathy works is she acts like a switchboard. So it's not like you're all in a group chat all the time, but all of you can talk to her, and then she can pass that on.
Oh yeah.
So anytime, any situation where time is not an extreme factor, it don't really make a difference. In the middle of combat, if it was a bunch of complex information she had to relay, there might be a roll to make sure she could get it fast, cycled through everybody fast enough. But yeah, for updates, not a problem. Everybody is more or less aware of what's going on with everybody else. All right, so Frost Giant, you are embedded in ice.
Well, the first thing I'm going to do is say out loud, wow, that is messed up. And I feel like I'm on the wrong side of history at the moment. And then I'm going to try and just break out of the ice.
Okay. Let me check her. Let's see. All right, so I've got the material strength. Roll your strength versus the material strength of the stuff holding you. So 10 is the number to beat.
Oh.
Oh, he rolled a 1.
So you're straining, you've got no leverage. You think you hear a little bit of the ice cracking, but yeah, it's still holding you pretty solid. You're a Frost Giant trapped in ice. It's embarrassing.
I was about to say,
What would your dear old mother and daddy say?
oh, I hope this doesn't get on YouTube.
Then it's my oldest's turn. She's kind of like, coughing a little bit. Yeah. That seems like something the Midgard Serpent would do. And then she reaches out to grab you. Kind of gets you, if she makes the roll, she's trying to get you up under the chin. Which, would serve to help hold your mouth shut, potentially. But... So that's her coordination. Oh, no, excuse me, this would be a prowess roll. Oh, wait, she's really not good at those. Yeah, but that would factor in, so... Yeah, it's not complete suck, but yeah. Oh, 10's the number to beat. That's not too bad.
So I'm basically rolling just prowess.
Let's see. If you have any specialties that would factor into it, or...
I don't believe I do. But...
any powers or anything, but...
Yeah. What's this? Is this a... What's the move called if you're just... dodging? It's not dodge, it's the other one. I'll just generate a prowess total. I'll enter the roll in later. Nope, she got me with a 3. So that's like what's the mid-level of success? I think that is.
Okay.
Major success.
Yeah, major success. All right. She is using her energy drain.
Uh-oh.
Yikes.
Evading, that's what it is when you're trying to not get hit up close and personal.
All right. Oh, that's energy control. That's not the one I need. I mean, she's got that too, but that's not the one I'm using. All right. So we made the test for her to touch. So she did manage to touch you.
Mm-hmm. Majorly, so.
But luckily, with it being an energy drain, that how good she rolls to touch you really doesn't matter as long as she makes contact. So the energy drain versus your willpower.
Ooh, willpower roll.
So you roll will, and she rolls her energy drain.
Same roll.
All right, that is a tie. So half damage. So you take 3 points of damage, which I believe bypasses the usual protections. Let me double check on that.
Yeah, I've got nothing that it will need to bypass.
Well, you've got the force shield on you,
Oh, right.
which I will scroll up and see if it affects touch-based.
I guess the question is, was she even able to touch me?
Let's see.
I suspect it would, since it it seems like the roll doesn't actually.
Whenever an attack, you see, additionally, whenever an attacker must touch you for a power to take effect, you can resist the effects with your force shield level, if it is higher than normal opposing ability, for example.
Which it was the same, I think.
He opposed with a 4, so it would have been the same.
Okay.
Okay. So either way,
I'm going to use the stacking rules and say that would actually bump you up by a +1, which means you got which means you'd have gotten an 8 instead of a 7, which means you'd have beat her.
Oh, excellent.
You could
So
feel
I could
something
probably
kind of
still-
pulling at you, though.
Yeah. Yes, I'm definitely creeped out.
It's her touch is cold, but it's not like a natural cold.
Mm.
Not like you'd get if she covered you in ice. It's
Go straight to the bone.
but she still got her hands on you, but she wasn't trying to pin you. She was trying to touch you. Wait a minute, you said take after your mother? I thought the Midgard serpent was a male.
Oh,
Of course,
was there a ruling on that? Did I get
Well,
that?
no. Of course, but she's like, oh, but Loki was whatever they needed to be, so...
Yeah. I just wanted to hatch out of an egg. That's all I wanted. Be the Midgard Serpent's child.
Just kicks his way out of the egg. Nanu. For, the players old enough to remember that.
I sure am. Oh, am I?
So, she seems puzzled for a second, then she's like, well, Granddad could change to be whatever he needed to be, so, okay. Because while he is Hail the Fenris Wolf and the Midgard Serpent's father, he's Odin's 8-legged horse Sleipnir's mother.
That's
Just straight out of the mythology.
It's another relative. Okay. Note to self: make a 8-limbed horse humanoid.
I don't know if Sleipnir was intelligent. It was human level intelligence though.
Octahoof.
Probably more intelligent than your average horse.
Well, yeah, I would assume so.
I didn't realize that was Loki's child too. Wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yep. They had
Get around.
Odin had hired a giant to build the walls around Asgard. There was a clause in their agreement that if he didn't do it in such and such time, either he didn't get paid or maybe he got a bonus if he got it done quick enough. But he's building it. He's got a I can't remember if it was a giant horse or what it was, but he had a horse that he was using, to haul the stuff, the equipment. Well, Odin don't want to pay him. So he goes to Loki. See what you can do about that. Loki turns into a mare in heat and lures the horse away, which delays the giant long enough that, Odin either didn't have to pay him at all or didn't have to pay the bonus or whatever. And then nobody sees Loki for a little while, and when he comes back, he's got this 8-legged horse he gives Odin.
The Norse had the best myths. They just had
They had some pretty good ones.
Oh, man.
No one really looked Loki in the eye for a while after that.
Well, one thing to remember with Loki was, until you get into the Ragnarok stuff towards the end, he was just mischievous.
Yeah.
He would get in trouble when his jokes went too far, but he didn't really get evil until the end.
And even that was...
Plus, he got them out of as much trouble as he created, didn't he?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, which is true of most of your trickster deities.
Right.
It's like their purpose in the myths was really to, teach you to be clever, as well as teaching lessons to people that when they needed it. But all right. So anyway, that was her attempt there. Patience clearly saved you from that.
Mm-hmm. Thank you indeed.
I am a virtue.
Then it is Patience's turn.
Comet is more or less safe at this point, right? More or less talk Mal down.
Right.
Yes, or it may be on a temporary basis, but for the moment, yes, he seems to be.
It seems like I'm safe.
Then I will go ahead and heal 5 points to Frost Giant.
Okay.
Nice.
Then go ahead and tops him back out.
Serpent Boy now has 3 turns left of shielding.
Okay. Alright, let's see. And the Comet had talked Mel down, where hit. So the Comet and another squadron show up. So you fly up to see this woman holding Serpent Boy by the jaw. It doesn't seem to be squeezing it. It doesn't seem to be hurting him at all. You see a little cloud of smoke around him. Or mist, I guess would be more accurate.
Yeah, but she's manhandling one of the kids.
So what's he gonna do?
Do I get an attack?
No, I don't guess you would, because y'all changed areas. That was kind of your action. So Serpent Boy, you're the cleanup batter.
Yes. So now at this point, let's see. So we've already traded attacks. So the force field between us, I think he's going to try to continue the conversation as long as there's a force field up between them. So he would say, So yeah, I didn't. Okay, I didn't. Um, I think he tried to calm things down a bit and just ask. Do you have do you have any do you have any other do you have any other sips? Are there others?
No, most mortal men cannot survive my mother's touch.
Oh, right. So are you with this so did I hear right? You're not with the Squadron, dude.
I don't know. Are you talking about the flying man? No.
So why are you attacking here?
They have information that I need.
Well, what are you looking for? Depending on what you're looking for, maybe we can help. But first of all, what are you even looking for?
Give me a willpower roll. See how if she. I mean, because you just spit something at her. Let's see how.
I did, yeah. He was a little impulsive. That's fair.
Let's see if you can kind of win her over enough to keep talking.
Yeah.
I mean, your family, but given the nature of her family.
No,
Well, your family, but so is Loki, so I don't know how much trusting there should be.
Well, she reads right through me, whatever it is.
It's not so much that she doesn't think you're sincere. She's just really aggravated about that attack you made, so. So she kind of clams up. It's like, maybe, you almost get the impression she might be embarrassed about why she's here.
Oh, okay.
So that wraps this round, unless you're going to try to attack in some way.
No.
Okay.
No. I mean, it's like, yeah, because as far as I mean, for all he knows, that she might actually have legit reason to go haywire on these dudes, but for now, I think he's just going to be on standby unless she starts like whooping ass on the mortals again.
So anyway, you're asking her, what she's looking for. That's none of your concern. She doesn't like throw you off the building or anything, but she kind of, rather than just let go of your face, she kind of gives you just a slight push.
Oh, gotcha.
And I'd like a more dramatic ending, but that's where we're going to have to wrap for today. We've gone a little long, but not too bad.
It is very interesting. It isn't. Yeah. Well, it is an intriguing point. That's for sure.
So yeah, y'all two are standing. Well, she's on her little ice pillar, and you're standing on the edge of the building. Frost giants to one side, covered up. Comet and one of the squadrons have just shown up. And that's where we'll wrap. We'll come back next time and probably manage to wrap this story up the next session. I don't think it'll take another 2. Oof.
Patience is sitting now with the MPs just sipping on a juice box.
You're not sure how the MPs had a juice box on hand, but yeah.
Because they're awesome. That's how they had them on hand.
Well, it is a military base. You may have family living quarters and stuff. The oh crap, what do they call the little own base stores? PX?
Commissary?
Yeah, either term is the right one. So I'm just picturing her on like one of the overturned vehicles, just kicking her feet and sipping her juice box while she's like, okay, force field for him, healing for him.
Yeah, occasionally you just see like a hand motion.
Yeah, the MPs don't know quite what to make of it. It seems clear to them that you're doing some kind of Jedi stuff, so, they're not asking any questions, so they don't want to interrupt you. So anyway, we'll come back in 2 weeks and see what goes on with this little crew and whoever else might show up. But hope y'all had fun. I was enjoying running. Hope anybody that comes by and watches or listens to us later had fun, and we'll be back in 2 weeks to do it again. Once again, I was your GM for the day, Jason, and with me was Mike playing Serpent Boy, Curtis playing the Comet, Taylor playing Patience. I almost called her Constance again. And Zach playing Frost Giant.
Hey, hey.
And we will see y'all later.
Night, night.